in. Can we just get a bit of appreciation for Luke Martin, because he has gone out of his way to buy a stream deck for me and for seeing himself to make these streams will flow a lot nicer and allow us to do some pretty crazy stuff ready for next season. So unlike this is totally not epic. Why? Hello? As I was bigging it up, great. This is actually a Streamlab error though. Why the fuck? There we go. Okay, we're in. That was going well. Anyway, yeah, so Luke Martin has gone out of his way and bought me a stream deck because he's an absolute goat and he wants to see this league get somewhere. And I think this will greatly help us because I can do things at just press of a button now. How much money do I get from it? From the stream deck or the league? If you mean from the league, barely fucking nothing. It's the harsh reality. Alright, who have we got first out on the lap? I believe that is Sam Palmer. Not letting me go. There we go. Doesn't let me go to the outside view for a short second there. Ads. Oh, we get nothing from ads. Ads go all to Twitch, my friend. The Prime subscriptions, yes, we get money from, but not a ridiculous amount. If you think we probably get like 2 or 3 a month for £3, whatever it is. Yeah. But anyway, enough about that. Let's see another kind of budget system. Aston Martin, can they not have a DNF for this race? I mean, one of their drivers, Mr. Bates, is not here. Touch sucks. Where's Martin? As in Luke Martin? Luke Martin's currently out on track in his Mercedes. As Will, I think that's Mitchell actually. No, it's not. It's Best, who has been absent from the first 2 races this season, sticking with his roots in the AlphaTauri team. Is going to be trying to show what force he is here in Japan. So let's see as he starts his first lap. Yeah, that's not how it works quite. Awesome. But here he goes, flying now into this beautiful turn 1. Hooks it round, tries to use a little bit of this outside curve. Don't want to use too much. It's very easy to get track limits there, especially in qualifying. A little bit, I'd say, tentative on the throttle through this sector. Can definitely apply a little bit more throttle through here. Do believe he is working up to try and use no traction control though, so maybe a little bit nervous at the moment on that throttle, just to try and set a banker lap here. Remember, this is a tricky track to get every corner right on, so you just want to get a nice, clean, smooth lap in at the start of the session, which will then set you up to maybe push a little bit more for your later laps. Tricky corner this, the hairpin. Doesn't take it as tight as he could, but still very nicely. A lot of alternate lines through there that are just as quick as one another. Abracadabra to crash first. Oh, is that yeah, okay. Oh god, he's back. No, but here goes Best now, flying up to start Sector 3 into 130R. This is just a beautiful corner to watch the cars, especially when they go side by side through here. It's beautiful. But here he goes now into the Casio triangle. Heavy on the brakes, wants to hook it on that inside curve, does a little bit and takes a lot more curve on there on the second apex. Pushes his way through the final corner now, opens the DRS one final time and he puts this in, puts his first lap in as a 1:31.3 as Palmer now goes across the line, set 1:33.0, and now I believe that is Livingston. Oh, sorry, no, it's Hegro setting his lap, putting himself ahead of Palmer, but 3/10 off the back of Kelsey Best. And that is an Alpine, I believe, of Magnussen going across the line now to set himself on provisional pole with a 1:30.7. Very fast driver, we know, from Bahrain. He got unlucky in Australia, but here comes Ferrari. Not raced this season, I don't believe, but it sets a 1:32.2. Puts himself ahead of Palmer. I think there's a pass of Zerveld now coming up to the line. Tier 3 Season 4 champion, but I think he's just starting his first lap actually. I think he is a bit out of sync with everyone else. Here we go. This is Jeff Pajic, or sorry, Philip Palic, coming across through the final corner now. Opens the DRS for that one final time this lap. It's a 132.3. He has not been best pleased with that, I'm sure. I think we are going to have... there's a lot of cars coming across that are doing different times. Kosev in the Ferrari goes P2 now. Good lap in from him as Ada car goes P5 or 131.7. I think that is Luke Martin actually into the pits after his first lap. And here comes Smith. Don't think he's on for a lap. Might be going off into the pit lane. No, maybe starting. He's starting a new lap. He said he's out lap. This is Mitchell on his out lap. Best going to be coming into the pits now. So we're going to see those guys that set their first times earlier on in the session now pulling off into the pit lane and setting and putting on a new fresh set of rubber. So I think the next person to come and set a lap is going to be Mitchell here. I think he's got a lot to prove. We saw he was pretty dominant in Bahrain until the game put him on the wrong tyres late in the race after a safety car, I believe. So I'm sure he's still wanting to prove that he can get that first win. After I think Matic just was that much better in those conditions yesterday, as Zerveld now sets his first lap of the session and puts himself a 10th clear in provisional pole. So good lap from the Haas drivers. The Haas drivers, like I say, been ever so consistent this season. Scoring points when they need to. I think we're going to have Livingstone actually come across the line first to finish his first flying lap. Where's he going to go? P2 for the Williams driver there, just 200ths of a second away from pole. Matic as well putting in his first lap, maybe. Yeah, putting in his first lap of the session into P5 for him on 131.1. And I do believe now we'll be having Mitchell, sorry, coming across the line next to start his first flying lap. So let's ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver here as he flies through the final corner, up to 7th, up into 8th as that rear wing opens up to give him that extra bit of power down the straight. He's got to just about touch this inside curve, a little bit off there, but still very nicely done. Try and keep the back end stable. On the exit here, as you see, he loses the back of the car a little bit, taking it quite aggressively on those inside curves. You don't want to use too much of them while applying the throttle, obviously. This game does have a tendency to kill you when you do so. And there we go, hooking it round turn 7 now. A little bit of that outside curve as you extend the corner out open with your throttle on the right pedal. No, your foot on the right pedal, not on the... yeah, whatever. Anyway, purple sector 1 for the AlphaTauri driver here as he heads up into the tricky hairpin now. Just needs to get this nice on the hook round. You can lose a lot of time and gain a lot of time in this corner if you take it correctly, and that looked quite a nice apex to me. He hits the 50-second mark of this lap now, just going past where Sainz had a little bit of an off in the real Japan race early on in the morning here in the UK, but misses that apex a little bit, runs it a little bit wide, very close to track limits there. A little bit of a scrubby corner there through Spoon. He might not be best pleased with that as we run up now into 130R and enter sector 3. What can he do here through the Casio triangle? A lot of time to be gained through here as well, as he doesn't set purple sector 2. So he's got purple sector 1 so far. Not too aggressive on that inside curb. Straightens himself up. Through the final corner we go. Up into 6th. Up into 7th and across the line. It is going to be provisional pole. By nearly a second. Nearly 9/10. Clear of Zerveld. That is an impressive lap there from the AlphaTauri driver. Here comes Hegro setting a 31. Is he on his... he's starting a lap. I don't know why he said he set a 31. Weird. Who's this? I think we'll have Martin next to come across the line. He's yet to set a time. Obviously, P2 in the standings, joint first. So let's see what he can do here. He's got that very sexy special Japan helmet. He is probably the main reason this track is on the calendar this season. So, you know, you can either hate him or whatever you want, but he loves this track. So he'll be looking for a good result here today. He's yeah, living life out there at the moment, I'm sure. So I'm sure the game will give us a bit of a better look at that helmet there. There it is. Nice little red koi helmet he's got on. Not using too much curb there on the exit, surprisingly. I thought he would be pushing quite hard. It is quite late in the session now. You've got a sector 1 yellow flag. I believe there's a bit of a train forming between Aston Martin and a Ferrari. Palmer and Kosev currently in sector 3. Here's Martin now flying through I believe this is actually classed as a turn. It's a bit of a long turn, isn't it? But into Spoon now. He's very quick for here. I've raced him and he's on his lines for here. So let's see what he can do. He's going to be looking set. A pretty decent bank lap, I'd say. He's got a bit of traffic to deal with. His teammate of Pavic right in the way. Oh, I don't think he'll be best pleased with that one. As he head now into Casio Triangle, just need to get heavy on the brakes, turn the car in, through the right-hander, through the left-hander, to straighten the car back up for the straight. You want to keep that back end stable as you fly through here. And it's going to be a 130.8, only P6 for the Mercedes driver so far. But he got a nice banker lap in there, nonetheless, as Zerveld now, I think, is winding up for his second lap. And then we have Vicari setting a purple sector 2. It's the Red Bull driver. What's he going to manage to do here? He's looking pretty fast so far, really low on battery, so he is pushing hard as he uses a bit of the exit curve there of the chicane. Run up to the line now, opens that DRS. It's a 131.3 for the Red Bull driver. Got a bit of time to find in that lap. There's Masic now, last time out as a race winner here in CO3. What is he going to manage to do as he comes up to the line and he's on an outlap? Never mind. It's Magnussen now running up to the line. It's going to be a 130.4, getting really close to the pit wall there. Sorry, I've missed. Best to set a 130.3 to put himself up into P2. And it's a 1-2 for the AlphaTauri team. Great stuff from them. As we've got Hegro now coming down the final pit straight. Or is that... Best is on an in-lap, right? Gotta be. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we've got... Hegro now coming through the final chicane. What is he going to manage to set? And he's going to set the pit lane alight, because that's where he's going. So is Kosev. So it is going to be the Mercedes pair, and I believe Jeff could be on a lap here. He's 9/10 up, so he's looking on track for maybe a 31.7 0.4, and he is going to get a 31.4, just under 131.5, but stays P13. So not a great lap from him. Has been absent from the last few races, as I said, as Smith starts his second flying lap of the session. Currently on 132.9, quite far off the back of the field, so we'll be looking to improve on that. As Zerveld now flying down the final straight, maybe giving the tow here to his teammate of Noah Masic. As they come into the chicane, Noah Masic really low on battery. I don't know if he's going to pull off into the pit lane here. He could. No, he's not. He's going to stay out and commit to this lap. What is it going to be for the Haas driver? It's not going to be an improvement. Just loses out by over a tenth. And I believe Smith has had a spin in the first sector. So the yellow flags are put out for the McLaren driver. Here's Sam Palmer going into the final chicane now. What is he going to manage to do in that Aston Martin? He's going to manage to pull off into the pit lane. Like a... Yeah. As Magnussen pulls off into the pit lane, what can Adavakar do? I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He could go into the pits as well. Everyone just shafting me over right now. Kosev, I believe, is going to be the next one to set a lap, unless... no, it's got to be Kosev. Pretty sure. Unless that's Luke. Is that Luke? It is Luke. Luke is... Oh no, that's Luke behind him. Okay. So it is Kosev. Sorry about that. Look who's here. It's Big Wallister, is it? Big man Wallister. Yeah, that's the best part. Best part about commentators, when everyone goes into the pit lane. It's brilliant. Absolutely top stuff. Yeah, Mitchell has set a cracking lap there. I've got to say, I don't think it's the Italian flag on Kosev's helmet. I think it's the Hungarian flag that he races under. But because it's red, white and green, it really suits the Ferrari look. See that there? Some would say a T2 lap. Yeah, some would say. But it's not about the qualifying, everyone. It's about the race. So let's see what happens later on, shall we? But the Ferrari driver, currently P7. Kilian Kosev. Coming through to turn 1 right now. This is another yellow flag, but I think that's for a Haas driver. getting out the way. Well, here he goes, flying through Sector 1 now. What an amazing sector this is to watch the cars go full push through. I wish we could have seen this in the real life race a little bit more, but you know, rain and that. Very strange lines taken by Kosev here. I think he is a controller player, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him, this track. It's not so 90-degree corners and stuff like Baku, for example, so it's a bit tricky for these. As he heads now into the hairpin, looks like he takes that rather nicely, right up to the curb there, straightens the car back out. Beautiful exit. 10th place penalty, I don't know. I do not know. That is to be looked at after this qualifying session. But 3 Spoon, with a very you can get a lot of understeer for that second half of Spoon there. But manages to keep it on the track within track limits. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 and 3. Hello. But that's a purple sector 2 for Kosev. So let's see what he can do here as he heads into the Casio Triangle. For I think what is the 3rd time in this qualifying session. Straightens the car back up over the curb a little bit. Might have lost a bit of confidence in the car as he hits the wall. That is going to be a bit of his front end plate flying off there. I don't know if we'll get a replay on that, but that looked very very unfortunate there for the Ferrari driver. But AlphaTauri, I mean, we saw Alpine dominate in Tier 2 as Martin puts himself up into P2 with a 29.9. Only 3/10 off the AlphaTauri driver, so could Martin be challenging for a pole position here? But Mitchell's still yet to set, I think, his 2nd lap of this session, as there is a Alpine of Magnussen getting out the way for, I think that might actually be Mitchell. It is Mitchell on an outlap though, I believe. I don't know who's going to be next across the line. Could be one of the Haas drivers. Let's see where they are up to. Outlap for Zerveld and Masic as Adavatkar is out of this qualifying session. I feel so bad, man. I can't say his name for the life of me. Anyway, don't think we've got too many people behind on a flying lap. So I do believe it could be... Let's have a look here. Kosev's already gone across the line. I think it's going to be one of the Williams, maybe. It's just so difficult to find out who's on a lap and who's not. I think Livingston might be the first... Oh no, sorry, his teammate Hegro, if he's on a lap. He is. So it could be Hegro here, the first one to set a lap time. No, it's not, because he's not on a lap. Oh, and Livingston's had a spin on the exit of Spoon. So that is going to be his lap ruined. Let's hope he has enough battery. How's he looking like? He's half percent battery, so could just be enough. But oh no, qualifying's over now. That is it for qualifying. So that's going to be it for Livingston, I believe. And his teammate Hegro down in P8. As Best is now retired from the session, probably in the pit lane, I'd assume. So next across the line is going to be, I believe, Jeff Pavic or Philip Pavic. 3/10 up on his time. So he could be looking to get ahead of a few people here. Maybe up into P10, possibly even P9. If he gets this last sequence of corners correct, as his teammate gets out the way and off track for him there. And head through the final corner for the Mercedes driver. What is it going to be? It's going to be a 130.6 up into P7 for Jeff Pavic. And now we are going to have Magnussen, I believe. It is, but Magnussen's not improving. That's going to be Magnussen's qualifying over. We've got the Haas of Sebastian Zerveld now heading into the final few corners. Looks very strong, obviously, in Season 4. Came back to life in Australia. What is he going to manage to do in this qualifying session? Is it going to be pole? No, it is not. It's a 30.5. What stays P5? The Zerveld. Let's see, the Aston Martin driver of Palmer now. Up to the line. Puts himself up into P8 on his final attempt here in qualifying. And Noah Masic, last time out's race winner. What is he going to manage to do? Nothing. He's into the pit lane. Goes Masic. Vicari has invalidated his lap. Is Smith going to improve? No, he is invalidated as well. So, I believe that is it. We've got Mitchell, followed by Martin, followed by Best. And AlphaTauri on the front row and the second row of the grid. Great qualifying for those two. Magnussen up there in a strong P4. Has been ever consistent this season. Followed by Zerveld, Livingston, Pavic, Palmer, Kosev, Hegro, Adavatkar, Masic, Vicari and Smith. Another DNF. Oh no. Team principal's not a happy man. Let's see if I got that replay. think just about as the Ferrari. I need to make sure actually that's still playing. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you can just see as he came through the final corner here, just lost the back end. It's so easy to do for this corner. If you get on the power too early, and into the wall he goes, unfortunately. But here is your final classification for this qualifying session. Quite big gaps, it has to be said. Second to P8. I think that's probably one of the biggest gaps we've seen. You know, between the top 10 for this season, I'd say.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Governor.
That might have been the most sweatiest lap I've ever set, and it still was nowhere near. Nowhere near.
It's a British front row.
It was a British front row. Mitchell's got a 10 place.
Oh, has he actually got... Oh, so you're on pole then?
Yeah, it's my first
Well
pole.
done, mate. Well done.
Am I hosting the race, or...?
Yes.
Okay. Thank God,
Any
because it was
drivers
raining.
watching the stream or any engineers watching the stream, the race is going to be hosted by Luke Martin. Oh my God.
We've avoided the downpour.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Good point, good point, good point.
Anyway, we're going to go back onto the starting soon screen. I'll just turn this music down a little bit.
So Swan has a 3 place.
Yes. Yeah, Swan with a 3 place.
I sweated that lap, by the way.
Place.
Mitch with a 10 place. I've never sweated a lap as hard as that, and I was still 4 tenths off him. Oh my God. Oh, Palmer's got a 3 place too.
Okay, yeah, you definitely host the lobby then before he decides not to do that.
Alright, that's the lobby up. Let me get rid of the qualifying.
I just want to check, for the sake of this stream, I'm just checking if all these replay screens work, because it'd be quite annoying if they don't when I come to do it. And this one?
I know you can hear me, Doc.
Shit.
I was talking about my qualifying, how I sweated that, and it still wasn't good enough for pole. On my favourite track on the calendar this season. Copium.
Copium, indeed.
Alright. Just need everyone in here. So Swan's starting from the back because he didn't set a qualifying time. Let me invite Palmer and you.
I'm joining.
Oh, you're joining.
You can hear the audio on slow-mo? Shit. Okay, hang on.
Oh.
Libido. Okay. You shouldn't be able to hear it anymore, hopefully. And this one? Okay, you can't hear it on this one either.
No, I've got to give myself a fine.
That's fine. There we go. Hopefully you can't hear anything anymore.
Alright.
Invite,
Is Palmer in?
Invite. I just invited you to your own lobby, deal with it.
Nice, let's go! I didn't get an invite, or did I? I did get an invite, you mother. Palmer's invited me.
Oh, you're such a mate. Oh, why? Why? Why have we got 2 lobbies going?
Because Palmer.
Don't vote for your driver of the day, yeah. Vote for your driver of qualifying, but I will reset it before the end of the race, so.
Why am I being awkward? You fucked the settings. Right, let me pick my team. We are missing 2 people.
Who would that be?
I don't know, because Swan's in. I only
Smith,
find out when I start setting the
driver.
grid.
I don't have him. That's
Your
fine.
driver.
I don't have my own driver added.
And there's one other.
Are you sure? There was only 4. Yeah, 4.
Full team, but Swan wasn't in qualifying.
Oh,
I'll be able to tell you when I'm setting the grid.
I
Settings.
Oh, I think he added 2.
Palmer needs to invite the people we're missing. In P1 it was Mitchell. That's down.
Okay, Palmer's invited.
Up. Second place was myself. Third place was Best. Fourth place,
Question:
Magnuson.
have you gone back to your headset now?
For the time, because I was how far away it sounded like I was in a bathroom. Zervild 16th. He's Seb Vettel. Who's 6th? 6th is Satellite. 7th was Pavic. 8th was Little Boatman.
The stream is muted.
Muted?
9th
Yeah, the
It's
stream can
code
hear you
save.
guys.
Is what?
Stream can
Ten-
hear you guys.
Yeah,
Ten-
I know.
Okay.
11th is Reigns. 12th was Mansich. 13th, Vicari was the one who we was missing. 14th was your driver, Swan 15th, and now the grid penalties. So
3 place for Swan.
Swan's starting 15th because he didn't do qualifying. Next would be Palmer with a
this
free
is
place.
interesting.
Palmer with a free place. 1, 2, 3. Who else had grid penalties? Mitchie had a 10 place. Right?
Yeah. Palmer with a
1,
free
2,
place
3,
and Duck
4,
with a free
5,
place.
6, 7, 8,
Wait,
9,
Duck
10.
only got a 3 place? What's going on here?
Duck also isn't here today, so
How did he only get a 3
Elmans.
place? What?
because it was a lap 1 incident, wasn't it?
A lap 1 incident where he just didn't brake. Yeah,
Feels
Will,
like-
if you're still here, Duck is slowly banging Alfa Romeo down to the ground.
Worse than what happened when you made super signings that didn't show up.
Oh, Vicari. Vicari is in now. thank God.
Vicari's 13th. Yeah, he's in. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my team chat, and once I'm in there, you can give the call to ready up.
Okay. Is it all set up now and
Right.
all good to go, yeah?
I'm just gonna double check the settings, but the grid is lined up. So we're doing a long race. Dynamic weather realistic per forecast actually should be approximate. Corner cutting strict. Pit stop experience immersive. Safety car reduced immersive. Formation lap off.
Okay. We get it. We get the gist. We're all good to
And
go.
everyone's
is what you're trying to say.
assists. Everyone's assists, other than coming into the pits, is on. So if you drive
Alrighty.
full traction control, you're good to go.
Duck, you have no idea what you're doing, mate. Anyway, ready up.
Let me get in my team chat before you do that, you bastard.
Ready up. Ready up. Ready up.
Bye bye.
Bye, mate. Who is gonna win and why is it Martin? Okay. You spent 160 to 180 mil on 4 drivers. Who did? I didn't do that. Don't know what you're on about. I try not to DNF. I mean, if you weren't trying already, that's probably part of your problem. Any funds donated to the Alpine Homeless Society? Oh no. Poll on who will win. Will, can you do a poll for us? Just do /poll in chat. Let's get some interesting debates going. Oh my god. Don't talk to Brookie. Anyway, We're loading into the race, everybody. Just sit tight for a few more seconds and we'll be ready to go. No formation lap due to the game being dog again. Trying to think what else. Safety cars on reduced because we want to actually race. How many cars are going to go out of lap 1? What are we saying? What are we saying? I feel like every time we guess on this, it never happens. Minimum 5. Okay. Oh, it's not raining. It is not raining and it doesn't look like it's going to rain. But 0, 3, 3. So you've gone from a minimum 5 to 3. That's quite a drastic change. Here we go. We've got a poll now. So everyone can go and put into the poll. There you go. So you got the options of 0, 1, 2, 3 and 3 plus. I'm going to vote myself. Anyway, 20 seconds and we'll be underway, everybody. 20 seconds. That's all you have to wait now. Two cars is quite a drastic change, yes. It's a difference between 3 and 5. Well done. Martin Spinelli lap 3 on now. Anyway, here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway in Suzuka. A little bit of a weird start there. Oh, everyone's kind of glitching about. But as we go on into turn 1, it is going to be Best putting himself up into the lead. Better start than Martin as Alpine of Magnussen going a little bit wide and joining the track ahead of Zerveld once again as he's now going to try and attack Luke Martin. There's a big crash towards the back. That's Noah Masic down in the grass as Pavic now being spun around on the hard tyre as well. Don't know if there's any damage to that Mercedes. But back up to the front as Martin now coming under pressure once again from Hugo Magnussen. And Magnussen nearly got the better run on the inside of the of turn 7 there. But Best up into first place at the start of this race as Palmer and Vicari now swapping positions. I think Palmer getting past the Red Bull driver into turn 8 as Vicari going off track a little bit there all over the place. Might be coming under pressure from Smith in a few laps time. Is now Kosev and Zervod having a little battle here. As I think Zervod might have pulled the old switcheroo on the Ferrari driver there through the hairpin. And now he could become under pressure from Nathaniel Hegro, and Kosev is gone. There he is. I could not see what happened there, but he has been spun out and he's going to be joining the back of the grid along with Filip Pavic as they head now down for the first time down the back straight up into 130R is Mitchell. Why is this laggy? What? Mitchell now getting past Nathaniel Hegro up into P5, recovering well from that 10th place grid penalty. We'll get some information up here of tyres. We've got a lot of mediums runners. Vicari pulling his teammates' usual strategy of starting on the softs as a Ballard getting disregarded there. Is Magnussen still all over the back of oh no, not anymore. What? Magnussen, hello. Interesting. Zerveld into turn 1 and turn 2. Already 1.5 second gap to Luke Martin ahead, and Martin's falling out of the DRS range here of Best, and there was no DNF, so everyone's wrong. Well done, GG. There's something very weird going on. Hello? Alright. I think we're okay now. Mitchell setting the fastest first sector up into P4 after starting P10, I think, in this race. We can get the details up here. I think he did on pole, right? Yeah. So, or guess P11, not P10. It's not my internet. It worked fine for equality. As a Ferrari of Kosev really struggling, stuck at the exit of turn 1 at the moment. Really far down the order now. Could be a little bit of an issue for him. Martin making lobby, GG. True. There's Mitchell now going to try and go down the outside through Casio Triangle. They go side by side. There's the Haas and the AlphaTauri, but he's going to have to slot back in. Gets a bit of a snap of oversteer there on the exit. And loses a lot of time overall, as Best is now dominating this race. 1.7 seconds in 3 laps to Martin behind. Martin probably not getting off to the best start for his liking. as we head to Adovikar, who's just overtaken Matic because he's pulled off into the pit lane. So last time out's race winner coming in for early damage. Probably onto the hard tyres if I had to guess. Yes, it is the hard tyres for Matic. As now Jeff Pavic getting ahead of Hegros. Hegros had a spin at turn 1 and lost his entire front wing. So he might become a little bit of a mobile chicane for these guys behind. There's Smith and Magnussen, who got caught up in earlier contact as well. What happened to Magnussen? Yeah, he fell right down. I think he's desynced from what we saw earlier on. These guys, there's also a full course yellow VSC. It is a VSC, I believe, but what do we know anymore? This is going to neutralise the race, and it's allowed, weirdly, Zerveld to get right behind Luke Martin here. I don't know how he's managed that. Maybe Martin made a mistake before the VSC came out. Oh, Livingstone picking up a drive-through penalty there, up in P8, due to speeding under VSC. That is going to be detrimental to his race, as he got Palmer here defending off both Red Bull drivers. Swan charging through the field from last on the grid. What is he going to manage to do on those hard tyres? As Palmer making a little bit of it, making it difficult for these two Red Bull drivers to get through at any point. But they've both got DRS now. Are they going to go for a double overtake? Could this be a double overtake into turn 1 for Red Bull? No, it doesn't look like it on this occasion. Not going to be close enough. And this beautiful camera angle we get. Look how gorgeous that is. Absolutely stunning. Average Connor. What do you mean? What do you mean? I've not done anything. I am just a commentator. Cope. And there goes the Red Bull driver Vicari, letting his teammate go through so he can charge after Sam Palmer in the Aston Martin. Up into P5. Gained 5 positions. Swan's gained 9. Vicari up 6. We've got yellow sector 1. That is for Magnussen now. I think he's had a little bit of an off there. Promoted himself down into P11. Or demoted himself, I should say. Best pulling his lead out even more. And Martin going to be coming under a bit of pressure here from Sebastian Zerveld, who's gained only 1 position, but I think he qualified P5. But due to these grid penalties, has moved himself up the field by 1 position in the race and 1 position. I don't know what I'm on about. Anyway, Martin taking quite the wide line on exit there as he heads down into the Casio Triangle. I don't know how many times I've said Casio Triangle in this stream, but we'll go with it. The lobby seems to be stabilising out a little bit now as Mitchell sets the fastest lap in P4. Mitchell and Swan showing why they are probably some of the most fit guys in this lobby right now. 7 positions gained for Mitchell and 9 positions gained for Swan. Let's see what these guys can do towards the back end of this race. But Mitchell is now onto the back of this train, leading off Luke Martin as Swan picks up a 3-second penalty for track limits, I'm going to guess. Will Martin overtake best? He won't. Well done, everyone. Well done. Unless he's going to make a 1.7 second lunge. I mean, it won't be the first time I've seen that. Vicari's really fallen off the back of his teammate here, actually. 3.4 seconds now between the 2 Red Bulls. Vicari loving the track limits, thinking outside the box or driving outside the track. Swan is on softs. No, Vicari's on softs. Swan's on hards. You're not a very good engineer, are you, Monk? I'm joking. There you go, there's everyone's tyres. Hegro coming in for the fresh softs. Masic also making a pit stop, and so is Kosev, or so has Kosev. Where's the action at the moment? These guys are still pretty close. What about Magnussen and Smith? These two pretty close as well as they head down the final back straight. So the final points paying position. We see Magnussen having a few connection issues from what we can see earlier on in this race. Is he going to manage to make the move into the Casio Triangle? Looks like he's struggling a little bit there for ERS, but he's going to go side by side down the inside is the Alpine driver into the Casio triangle. He is going to manage to make the move stick, but that is Smith getting a little bit tangled up there on the Alpine's rear wheel and spinning off into the gravel. Very, very unfortunate for him.